Hi everybody, this is my quick review after 1 year of owning the 2021 Honda Foreman. So this is considered the TRX FM, I believe, where it has the, it does not have a DCT, it has a Footshift right down there, 5-speed, and it does not have power steering. My Honda here has 775 miles, and that's my trip. It's got about 88.8 hours on it. That, what you heard at the beginning, is just I pressed the all-wheel drive system, so it's just that engaging. So after 1 year, what do I think of my machine? Well, it's the first time I own an ATV in my life. So this is coming from someone who's never owned a dirt bike, never owned a some type of machinery for off-roading. So as a first owner, Footshift is amazing. I highly recommend it. It's very fun, very intuitive, kind of like driving manual transmission. You really take control of the machine. You know, it's not just like the CVT transmissions with the belt systems on the Polaris, Can-Ams, etc. And it's bulletproof, right? You can beat the crap out of it in any gear, and you know it's going to last you a long time. I brought this thing mudding, and gear 1 and 2 are basically the low gears for the vehicle, the ATV. So you really get a good variety of ways to get out of a situation. If it's mudding, rocks, snow, you're not just stuck with just a high and a low gear in your all-wheel drive system. You can use your gears as well, depending on the situation. And it's fun to shift gears. In terms of not having power steering, some people have asked me that question. This is the stock unit, right? Like I said, no Footshift, no DCT and no power steering. I kind of regret not getting the power steering, especially with these different tires here. But it does give you a bit of a workout. But I do prefer at higher speeds not having that power steering. You feel a bit more confident at higher speeds. If I was an older gentleman, I'm 27 and 6'2", pretty strong, so it's not an issue for me. This is also the base model with the single rear axle. What do I feel about the rear axle driving in the trails? It is a bit more bumpy. I've had people ride on the back here, no issues. It's very soft. The suspension is very, very soft. It doesn't take much to add weight there, and it moves a lot. So it's soft, therefore it takes the bumps pretty well. However, when you're getting into those deep potholes, that's when you kind of understand why independent suspension is good. And especially when you're getting in the deep mud holes, you bottom out more often with this. That's why I upgraded the tires too, just to give me that a bit more ground clearance here. So on this side here, you've got the kill switch, you've got the lights. I've added a switch here for an LED light right there. And on this side here, you've got the diff lock. So you activate your all-wheel drive and then your diff lock. This is a good system because it's on the fly. So you can basically, in any gear at any time, put the all-wheel drive system on. I did encounter some grinding of the gears when engaging, so I would just recommend, if anybody's switching gears, just to wait a bit, press the all-wheel drive system, and then wait a few seconds before shifting a gear. So to start off with the things that I like, one, obviously Honda reliability. I've had zero issues with it. I brought it in for a service once to the Honda dealership to do the first initial maintenance, and the only thing that they did was a valve adjustment. But I mean, I've heard a lot of people do valve adjustments on the machines, on the Foremans, so I think it's just something that you have to maintain regularly. The other thing I like about the machine is definitely the four-wheel drive system. Compared to, let's say, Polaris, this system is on the go, on the fly. Where, let's say you're stuck in a mud hole, you just flick the switch anytime, or if you're riding in second gear and you're preparing yourself for the next mud hole or something, you just flick the all-wheel drive button and you're in all-wheel drive. There's no cranking of the gears, grinding of the gears, or nothing like I've done on a Polaris before. But I have got into an issue where I was switching gears while this was, I guess, activating. So it kind of started grinding the gear until it was fully engaged. So if anybody has a Foreman, I would just recommend, if you're going to put it in all-wheel drive system, you can do it on the fly, but just maybe put it in a gear first, kind of drive in that gear for a few seconds and then switch gears. Just wait a couple seconds before switching gears again. That's the only thing I've noticed. The other thing I like about it is definitely these racks, the metal racks that come standard with it. I've hit pretty big trees, stumps, and it's pretty robust. The only thing I'm kind of worried is about the unit rusting, so I just clean it regularly and might have to respray it once in a while. These are definitely very strong. People kind of say they're plastic, this could break, but I find that because they're pretty hard, that they kind of go back into their position if ever they get moved out. So here are the things I don't like about the Honda Foreman. First off, the stock tires. These are a huge improvement on the stock tires. So these are Traxion Rover tires. Traxion Rover. And they are 26 by 9 by 12s at the front. And at the back, they are AT 26 11 12s. The stock tires are good for highway. They're good for driving around. They're very smooth. You can go about 53 miles an hour on them. They're pretty good. But in terms of mudding, anything that's considered medium to anything higher than that for mudding, you'd get stuck. They don't have a lot of tread. But I've heard good reviews for a lot of people for the stock tires. But for what I do, a bit of mudding, these are a milestone compared to those. They're a lot better. Big improvement. Second thing is the storage. As you can see, I've got a rear compartment because storage on the Foreman isn't the best. The front here, you can basically fit a water bottle. It's rather waterproof. Like a water bottle. Here, I usually put my phone in there. You kind of see that's how big it is. You've got a little storage here. You put your keys or something in there. And then this dinky storage here, where I keep my paper, documents, and there isn't that much room. So you could probably put a water bottle or two in there, but not much. And just like that. So like a Polaris has the same system, but it's a lot bigger. So just get yourself a cheap $200. That's actually a front rack, but I wanted something more compact, and just it's easy with these rack systems to put it in with the bolts and the hangers provided. So that's another thing. Not saying that the stock light is no good, but definitely getting a cheap LED bar and mounting it here will make a huge difference if you're going trail riding at night. The stock headlight is excellent, but that definitely provides that extra field of view at night. In terms of reliability for the Foreman, I can't give kudos to Honda enough, because I've beat the crap out of this thing in mud. Like I said, stock tires are crap, therefore you'll always get stuck. So last year during winter, mudding in the snow deep, with the 4-wheel lock, it's amazing. It's never broken down, it's never not started. It's even in the minus 30 here in Canada, I use it for plowing. It's excellent. So I'm excited to see what the stock tires versus this in the winter time. So my biggest negative, I guess, for the Foreman, and probably all the Hondas, including the Rancher and probably the Ricon or whatever that piece of crap is, it's just the plastics. Like, I have the machine in the sun, and I've hit a lot of brush, especially in the winter when the trees are down, and it's actually pretty good here. You can see it very well. And this plastic guy is actually pretty durable. See how it's permanently scratched, but they do feel not cheap, but I've even heard some more reviews online. They're gonna last a time, and they might discolor a bit. They just seem to scratch a lot, that's all. Maybe I've just never owned an ATV before and that's just common. I don't care. It's just something to consider if you're gonna purchase one of these, that if you're gonna be doing a lot of trails and driving in trees and branches and stuff like that, expect it to be scratched. You know, it's a machine. You know, don't expect it to be pretty all the time. So to conclude, would I recommend the Honda Foreman? Yes, I would highly recommend it for anybody who's willing to make the investment on a reliable machine for the next 15-20 years. I plan on keeping this machine for the next years and giving it to my children and passing it on to generations as an investment. And it's super fun outdoors. So if you want to really get outdoors and fund a machine that's reliable and you don't have to worry about the maintenance as much, get a Honda. They hold their value. Would I get this one again? No. I'd probably get the Rubicon with the independent rear suspension and power steering, but I would still get the Footshift. I would not recommend this machine for anybody who's, I would say, 45 and older, who's maybe not as in shape. If they want something more of as a cruiser, probably get some power steering in there. If you're heavy mudding and big tires, you're gonna want some power steering. It's just something that's gonna make your ride a bit more enjoyable. But besides that, I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep posting some videos, and we'll see each other the next time. Let's go.